The Dallas Cowboys just got some great news as we have multiple updates on a couple of different injured wide receivers, plus some other injuries, as it seems like the Cowboys are finally going to be back to at least mostly healthy for the first time all season. Welcome in here to Cowboys Digest. I'm Jace Andrews. I appreciate you tuning in to today's show. Lots of good stuff to tell you today on this Tuesday. Practice tomorrow. Looks like a lot of players are going to be back on the practice field for what seems like the first time in forever. With that being said, though, we're closing in on 8,000 subscribers. I think we're above 7,900 now, but either way, we're closing in. If you could go down there, hit that subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it as we try and hit that milestone by the end of the week. So we all know the injuries for the Dallas Cowboys this season. There's been a plethora of them, let's just put it that way. And it kind of culminated itself last week when the Cowboys had legit a laundry list of players on their injury report throughout the week. Ended up having immediately 5 players out before the game was even close to being started. And then had a bunch of players that were questionable that, some were ruled out, some ended up playing. Either way you slice it, though, the Cowboys have been injured pretty much since about week 3. I mean, when CeeDee went down was probably the first week where it really felt like this team was in a different spot, week 3-4 area. So I think a lot of ways this team needs help on a lot of different fronts. Defense is a big place, but offensively, they're going to get help in this week's matchup. This all comes from Jerry Jones, though, because, you see, he usually likes to talk to the media. We know this. He did not talk to the media after their loss to Carolina because, I think the frustration had hit him as well. But either way, today he got on to 105.3 The Fan, also had an event today as well as Shiners, and spoke a lot about the Dallas Cowboys and what the plan was. Obviously, when you're not just the owner, you're the GM, you have to answer questions a lot, and he likes to do that. Well, he finally got us some good answers on the injury front, as he said this today. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones on 105.3 The Fan on the potential availability this week for wide receivers CeeDee Lamb and Kavonte Turpin, along with right guard Tyler Booker. He said, quote, "Thumbs up on all. It's looking good." And all I can say is thank goodness. Now, I say this all to say that Kavonte and CeeDee are going to be fantastic additions back to this offensive roster. I mean, we know CeeDee losing him back in week 3 was a real tough blow, at least what's what it felt like at the time when you lose to the Bears and the offense didn't look good. Since then, though, the Bears, they've done what they've done, but the Cowboys have fixed their offense since that game. George Pickens has been fantastic. Javonte Williams has been great. Dak Prescott has played to an MVP level. So while the wide receivers are a good part, I'm not too pumped, I should say, about them in some aspects. However, I am excited about Tyler Booker. I know he's not defense either, but having your offensive line back to a full form is just so helpful. And I think in a lot of ways we talk about how much Dak Prescott means to this team, how much he is an important piece for this team, and I want him to be protected, and he has been. Credit to the Dallas Cowboys for how much trouble they had on the offensive line, it felt like last year. This year, even their depth pieces are playing very, very well. Now, whether that's coaching, whether that's the ability to, grow this team in some aspects, the addition of some of these guys, the growth from a year's growth from some of them. So I think that's some aspects, but either way, that's part of the good news. CeeDee, as remembered, had that high ankle sprain, did not look good back against the Bears week 3. It was early on in the game too. Ended up having not much of didn't really play any of the game, to be honest with you. And the Cowboys offense was in peril that game. I mean, there's no way to put it. That the Cowboys offense looked legitimately terrible that game. Partially, in fact, to Javonte Williams having a fumble in the first, basically play from scrimmage, felt like. But either way you put it, the offensive additions are great. They are. I'm not going to sit here and kind of downplay that, but I still continue to look at this team and understand that the offense is not the problem. This offense has been playing particularly great, to be really honest with you, but it's the defense that struggles. If we go look at this offensive sheet here, even though you're going to get Tyler Booker, you're going to get CeeDee Lamb, you're going to get Kavonte Turpin, that's great. None of them were on IR, so you're not going to have to do any roster moves with them. None of them really, were missed. I say that lightly because CeeDee Lamb is widely regarded, and I believe one of, if not the best wide receivers in the NFL. But George Pickens has played to a wide receiver one level, so I haven't really seen too much. And Ryan Flanoy has stepped up, and there's been guys that have come out of the wide receiver room that has played really good. Now, I think this past week, George Pickens was the majority of the offense, so if you're able to get CeeDee Lamb and add him with it, maybe the defense is less of a matter because you can score more points. Because, well, let's be honest, that last offensive drive where the Cowboys had about 20 yards to get into field goal range and legit looked like they were discovering fire for the first time, like it was horrible. So maybe this is an addition, but there is more injury news and more positive injury news that we also got. And that is on Caelen, Carson, and Jonathan Mingo, who actually might be available for the Cowboys versus Commanders. Here is Stephen Jones talking to 105.3 The Fan. This was actually yesterday. He said, quote, "I feel like both will be ready to go this week. Both should be activated this week." Caelen Carson is going to be a big boost just because Deron Bland and Trevon Diggs, for as much as they are doing well, there's some issues with them. Personally, I blame it more on the linebackers and the way that they've played. Kenneth Murray Jr. has been one of the most horrendous linebackers I've had to watch this season. Every time I see him out there, he's doing the wrong thing. But either way you put it, you are getting a cornerback in that light back, so I think that's a good thing there. And I got a question for you. Who exactly do you think is going to be the most important player to have back for the Cowboys in terms of injured players coming back to the team? I want you to let me know your comment in the comments, or your opinion in the comments, I should say. Whether it's CeeDee Lamb, whether it's Kavonte, Turpin. Is there a guy that's coming back that you believe is more important than the others? Let me know down below. As much as I want to sit here and say it's CeeDee, I really do. I don't know. It might be Tyler Booker. It might be Caelen Carson, which is a wild statement, but the offense has been just fine. The offense has been more than fine. It's the defense that continues to struggle. Now, the one thing that you do have to keep in mind with both Caelen Carson and Jonathan Mingo returning this week, they were both on IR. And yes, their practice window is open. Yes, they have been practicing with the team, but they are not officially on the roster. We can go back here to the depth chart if I can find it, and you can see that Jonathan Mingo is not listed on here because he's on the IR. So once the official move is made to place Mingo and Carson back on the active roster, the Cowboys will have to make a move. They're going to have to make a corresponding move. And so in that light, I'm kind of excited to see what that move will be. I'm excited to see what exactly that could look like, but kind of a couple last things I want to talk about with CeeDee Lamb. I also want to talk about Jonathan Mingo here, but it seems like it's more about practice thing. Schottenheimer talked about this yesterday, saying that they're hopeful about getting CeeDee Lamb, Tyler Booker, and Kavonte Turpin. We won't know for sure until practice, and that's kind of where I go with my next statement here. It seems like we'll know a lot tomorrow. Jerry Jones said this on CeeDee Lamb, saying, quote, "Without being a doctor here, and without the benefit of a week of practice, we are thumbs up on all. It's looking good, but that's just it. You got to have a week of practice," end quote. Now, CeeDee Lamb is a professional. This guy has been a professional since his days back at Oklahoma when he played in Jerry's World in the Big 12 Championship against Baylor and balled out. But you still need to have a week of practice. Like, there's no ifs, ands, buts about it saying, oh yeah, well, you can't do that. No, you need the week of practice to make sure that this team is in a good spot, and specifically CeeDee Lamb is in a good spot, comfortable, and kind of fitting around that. So I think in some aspects, I'm not going to sit here and say that CeeDee Lamb is guaranteed to come back. I think it's most likely going to be this week, but I'm more certain about Jonathan Mingo, specifically because he has to. You open your 21-day practice window. I think technically they could put him on the roster on like Monday or Tuesday because that's when he opened the 21-day practice window. So there is a very slight chance that he doesn't play in this game, but in that light, he's going to be activated either a week from today or a week from yesterday. I don't remember when he officially started his practice window because technically, you start practice on Wednesday, but I think it was on I think they might have done it on Monday or Tuesday. Either way, besides the point, should be a good guy to have back. I think there was a lot of excitement around him, and trading for him last year from Carolina, there was some hope there. It didn't really perform well in the 8 games, but never really got to play with Dak Prescott. So having the likes of Kavonte, Dak, alongside with Jonathan Mingo and CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens could really create for an interesting offense for sure. Last thing I want to talk about, if you missed it yesterday, DeMarvion Overshown looks like he's going to be back soon. We're going to have another video on him later tonight talking about when he could return because Jerry Jones had some comments. But if you missed it, this is another positive news here. It seems like he is getting close to his return. Getting close was the statement. Jerry Jones made an official remark on it earlier today as well, and I felt that deserved its whole video because he is going to be such an important piece. And I said it today, the defense is where it's struggling. Like offensive, I'm glad we're getting players back. I'm not going to say that CeeDee Lamb is not important to this team, not at all. But he is going onto the side of the field that has succeeded. He's going onto the side of the field that has been good. DeMarvion Overshown is going onto the side of the field that needs help, and specifically in the linebacker room. So we'll have a full video on that, kind of talk about it. But either way, we appreciate you. Well, thank you for watching. If you're here at the end of the video, I want you to do me a favor because I know that y'all are watching here at the end of the videos, and I know y'all do it every day. But let me know who are the real ones in the chat. So go down there and type REAL1, real one. And let me know that y'all are watching all the way through. And I know y'all are my brothers, man. I appreciate you. Or sisters if you're watching, by the way. But we appreciate you. We love you. Hope you have a great Tuesday. And we'll see you later this evening for a video on DeMarvion Overshown. Peace out, guys.